Alright, so we got a workshop video again. This one we're talking about the Santa Fe RDCs. So there's quite a bit of work I've been doing with these. So, now the main issue with these, so I wanted to add two things. I wanted to add three things. I wanted to, one, change the incandescent bulbs that were in the headlight and rear light into LEDs. The second thing was to add DCC to it. And the third thing was to add interior lights. First one, very easy. I just added some very simple LEDs. In fact, I have two right here that I'm currently working on for the second RDC. You guys can see that. Yeah, I have 1K resistors wired on each of them, and I just place them where the bulb is, and I make sure they're insulated from the frame, which is die-cast. This die-cast frame is really heavy, by the way, so that's something that's quite interesting about this model. I think it's much heavier than it needs to be, but anyways. Yeah, so you just simply add the LEDs in the front, and then I painted the ends with a yellow paint. You don't have to do this. I just didn't buy like Yellow Glow, which is like a yellowish white color lights. I just got really cheap plain white LEDs, so I just painted the ends yellow, and it works fine. And yeah, so the second thing is to add DCC, obviously, and well, that's quite complicated because the original board was this, and this is not a DCC ready board at all. This is just a plain DC board with some diodes, so the LEDs are directional, or the original incandescent bulbs are directional, and basically it's just a light board basically. I wanted to add DCC to this, so I'm just hardwiring the decoders. This is the chassis I finished. This is the one I'm currently working on. Here you can see the Digitrax decoder right here. I have the purple and green wires taped outside, and then I have the 8-pin socket, and then I made my own female 8-pin socket, which I wired all the wires to, so I can replace the DCC if I ever need to, just easily by unplugging that. It's not a hardwire connection, which is kind of nice. So that's kind of what I'm currently working on here in the bottom one. But yeah, that one's also pretty straightforward. There's nothing really too complicated going on besides just a wiring job. And the third thing, and this is the most complicated thing, and that is the interior lighting. So these are RDC ones. What that means is RDC made three versions. The first one version is all coach, as you can see, all coach. RDC 2 is coach baggage, so it's like 2/3 coach and then a little bit baggage compartment in the front. And then they also made a RDC 3, which is, I think, coach RPO, or coach railway post office. And that one's like 50/50. And what's nice about the 2 and 3 is that since not the entire thing is coach, you have a nice area that's hidden where you can put your motor. However, with a fully coach, with a fully seated area car, this entire area is exposed when you look through the windows. And what Walthers did is basically they made this part black plastic and they darkened the windows. These are tinted windows. Proto 1000 or Proto 1000 RDCs. This isn't Proto 1000 RDC. The RPO or the RDC 2 and 3s didn't have tinted windows. Only the RDC 1s did, and that's the reason, because this part is just you can clearly see through the windows otherwise. Now I want to light this engine up, and I could have simply just not lit up anything up, which would have been fine. I could have lit up just this one section, which also could have been fine. But the problem is, if I lit up this one section, it'd be very weird because only half the car would be lit. And so what I ended up doing is, I ended up doing that anyways. So you can see the LED strips there. I have a little plug, which plugs right into here. So it does look a little weird having only one section lit, but another one not. However, I'm currently in the middle also of adding these window shades. So I basically just line this up and then put a few dots and cut them out respectively. So I can simply just attach this on. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna put the camera down, or phone down. And it's kind of hard to see here, but can you guys see through that? You can sort of see the window blinds. Can you see the window blinds? Here we go. So yeah, the window blinds are at various levels, and then on the left side it'll just all be down. So it's definitely not the best looking thing because some of the windows will just simply have blinds over them. But I think it's a creative solution to still have interior lights and make it somewhat believable where all these blinds are just down. Yeah, so that's kind of my solution. It's definitely not the best solution. Ideally, you would just buy an RPO. I mean, that's probably the easiest way because they don't have this ugly motor thing. But yeah, I don't know. It works for me. It's good enough. It's a good enough solution, and it's it's realistic, although a bit of a stretch because it looks kind of weird having half the car having all the blinds down. But I think it works out okay. But anyways, yeah, I'm just currently just showing you guys in the process. I have these wires. Well, supposedly I'll have to redo this, but all these wires are kind of stretched out, and then I hot glued them, which is just a simple workaround solution to have the wires not droop around. But that being said, these are starting to droop, so I'm going to redo that. But anyways, ideally all the wires would be all tensioned, and so there would be no drooping wires to cover up the windows. So yeah, anyways, that's kind of how the finished chassis will look. I have a plug that I could just simply plug into the shell, and then I'll also add some people on the front here, and that should be it. I'm pretty sure that's it. And then yeah, currently I'm just working on the second one here. As you can see, I'm still in the process of slowly wiring each wire into the 8-pin plug. But yeah, that's pretty much it, and hopefully the end result will look okay. I'm not adding sound or anything like that into this engine because I don't know, they're RDCs. I'm not gonna run that often, so I don't really need sound. I personally don't mind having quiet RDCs going around. So yeah, and then by the way, this capacitor here, this is just a little circuit for the keep alive, or no, not the flicker free lighting for the interior lights. These will be directly wired to track power. And that's because these Digitrax decoders only have 2 function outputs, forward and reverse lighting. There's no the green and purple wires actually don't do anything. So yeah, I could wire it to like a 3rd function output, but I figured I don't really care, so I'll just have this wired directly to track power. But that's what that little capacitor and bridge rectifier is for. And that's pretty much it. So anyways, hopefully, yeah, again, as I said, hopefully this stuff turns out okay, and hopefully I'll have a video out showing you what the end result is like. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Alright, I figured I'd just actually finish the video here by showing these engines off. So yeah, they're complete. Unfortunately, like I said, no sound, just DCC, interior lighting, exterior lighting, and then the interior. So as you can see from the outside, it looks very plain. The headlight, rear lights, and for both cars work. I have it so the rear light, the rear light is dim when it's going forward, and then the forward light's going is bright, and so it's not on off, it's on and dim, and so that's why these middle lights are on. I might change that so these 2 lights are off, but regardless, here's the engine running. Yeah, really quiet. It's a standard diesel mechanism, so these days diesels are made so well and quiet that I honestly, you can hear a slight hum actually, but it's fine. Very, very smooth and very slow and quiet, so I do like that. Anyways, that's not what we're here for. So let me stop this, and I'm gonna turn the lights off. And yeah, you can see the people inside. I added 10 figures per car, and as you said, right, it's kind of weird how these are just off, or the blinds are just all down on this side, but I don't know. I don't really know what to do. This is my most realistic way. I might actually just add a few more blinds so it looks at least a little bit more consistent, and just have most of the blinds down with a few off, or with a few open. But I really wanted to display the interior. It's actually really nice. So as you see, I added a whole bunch of people. I painted them myself. I just bought like the bulk pack from China because figures, buying like Prizer figures is just way too expensive. I bought like 100 for like, or I bought like 50 for like $16 or something like that. Prizer's like, they sell them by like 5 or something like that, 5 or 10 by a pack. So anyways, yeah, the shades are quite nice. They actually look really dark because of the darkened windows. I'm not a huge fan of darkened windows because it really just blocks off all detail. Like if you actually look very closely, you can't see on camera, but the blinds do have texture on them, so they actually look like fabric instead of just paper. But in any case, in the daytime it's kind of hard to tell anything's on, but then during nighttime, you can see there's figures inside this car and this car. As you can see, also randomized like the blind height for each window, and there's some really nice figures. There's a guy reading a magazine inside there, or a newspaper. But anyways, yeah, these cars are finally complete. No sound, but everything else, in my opinion, is to my standards. I might add some separately applied grab irons on the ends here, but otherwise it's fine. So yeah, a really exciting project. I spent an entire day working on these two cars. It was quite of a pain, but I think it was worth it. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.